Good morning. Today we're going to talk about the install, setup, and usage of the ESX health monitor for LabTech. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to plugins for LabTech and get the DLL. Once we have that DLL unzipped, go ahead and go to properties and make sure that you unlock it if it's locked before trying to attempt to install it into LabTech. Once that's done, you can go ahead and get installed. So we'll go here, Plugin Manager, and Advanced, Manage, Add. Find our health mod on the desktop. There it is. Excellent. Open that up. Go ahead and save and close the plugin, and that should appear down here. There it goes. Go ahead and enable the VMware plugin. Then we need to make sure that we reload the DB agent plugins before we attempt to use the new plugin that we've installed. So reload the database agent. Yes. Give it a second here to reload. Okay, and it looks like it has just restarted there, so we'll go ahead and close this out. We'll also need to close and relaunch our console before we get the new plugin. Anybody that has an open console will need to relaunch or relog into their console before they get access to the plugin. Do the second here, you'll see it reloading your plugins. There it goes. All right. And here we are. We've got a new plugin available. Should be, there we go, ESX Health Monitor. All right, so the first thing we need to do is come in here and make sure that we've turned it on. All right, we can choose whether or not we want to enable alerting, and we need to set a valid cycle. How often do we want to check the health of the system and possibly alert or alarm that the system is having a malfunction? All right, once we have that set, we are able to then go to a client that would have ESX hosts located on it. And we'll open up the client tab. Now on the client tab, we should have an ESX Health Monitor tab. And on this tab, we have the ability now to save ESX hosts to our list, and that will initialize everything. That's pretty much all you have to do. So we're going to go in here and we're going to say we need to use an agent that is available on the same network as the ESX host to probe it. So we need to select one or more machines, and we can actually create more probes. We can do 2 or 3 probes probing the same ESX host if you needed some type of redundancy. Otherwise, a single probe host would be perfectly fine. So let's find one that's in or around that network. Let's see, for the one that we're on, we'll choose this 2008 server. That should work. I have 2 hosts here, so we're going to put 2 different hosts in. Got 3, and it's main user, and its password, and it is a Dell system. So we'll go ahead and save that. All right. Now, our probe is already going out right now and checking itself to make sure it has all the packages it needs to do the probe, so installing the probe itself on this machine. And if this machine is already a probe and it sees that the probe software is ready, then it will just add the machine to this list, and this machine will start scanning that list. Right now, you just added the machine, so the status comes up gray as unclear and no scan date. Here in a few minutes, it's going to pop up here with either a good or a bad and a scan date. So as we move through our setup here, you're going to see this actually kick on live. And we have to do nothing other than just plug the stuff in. So here we go. We go 10, 104 is my other host. All right, and it is also a Dell. Go ahead and save that one. All right, so I have now 2 hosts under this location being probed by this machine. This is the vendor of the hardware, and we currently have no status. If we were to go check the scripting of this machine, you'll see that it's currently under session to get that information for us. So within the next few minutes, we should have all that information loaded right in here. If at any time we wanted to force a scan right now of a particular client, you can come in here once you've added all your machines and at the different locations, and everywhere the client has ESX nodes, so there could be several different locations here, several different probes, vendor types, and so forth. By selecting rescan, it'll initiate scans across the entire client for all systems, refreshing scans as of right now. That normally takes about 5 minutes for it to report back the data from each of the scans, depending on how many scans a particular probe is having to manage. The scanning sessions for these are very efficient, so the probe checks and sees how many machines it's responsible for during a single script cycle, and will cycle through all those different machines in one probe scanning. So it will not be a single script launched for every single probe attempt that you're trying to do. It is a very smart setup. And the system is knowledgeable of the probes that are the scans that it needs to do based on the number of machines assigned to that probe. So once we're done here, we can go click out of here if we'd like. And maybe let's go back and take a look and see if we're getting report data back. If we are, we should start to see machines. And what do you know? We have 2 machines reporting in. There's my 2 machines now. We do have scan dates. You can see here it's 8:44 this morning. That's correct. And our status is currently good. Machines are solid. Now we can go back to our client and see that that data exists there as well. So we'll select this guy and you'll see that our machine had checked in already, so our probe had already done its business, and there's our data. Now we can sit and select either one of these 2 machines, right mouse click, and view SIM data, and we'll get the data back of everything that that thing is seeing and the current status. And these are the actual real values that we're getting back from the SIM collection, both in the hardware items that we're pulling and the values. And then we're determining based on the values whether that's a good or bad value. So the status column we're managing based on the information we have on the values that are available for that hardware. You can also see what type of hardware it is, and its service tag if it's a Dell, of course, or serial numbers and such if it's other vendors, and the last scan date. We also provide a simple about page that gives you our version number so you can keep track of versionings and build dates. So if you're curious on what version you're running and what one we have released, you're always welcome to go in here and click on our little guy here, and it'll pop up and tell you who we are and what the plugin versions are. That is it. Very simple plugin. It works quite well. It does put a monitor. Let's go over monitors real quick. It does put a monitor here. You'll notice right there. You can go edit this monitor anytime and set it to do anything you want it to do. Email, alert monitor. It can do other plugin scripts if you want it to fire off a script. The world's in, that's up to you guys how you want to do it. Basically, we set it to default raise alert. So it should be raising alert and emailing the primary admin of the LabTech system. That will check every 4 hours whether or not scans are going or not. So whether or not you've turned scans on or off, this will keep checking every 4 hours. Of course, if scans are turned off, the data will not refresh in the database. So this will be just doing nothing more than checking that data redundantly over and over again. And for all intents and purposes, your monitor will stop working. To clear the monitor out, just go ahead and select this, uncheck box this, and your monitor will disappear and stop reporting. Turn your ESX health off completely and stop all probing. Select this button here. It will not clear out the database of the existing data. It'll just stop all activity that is currently taking place inside the ESX health monitor. That's it. If you guys have any questions, please visit support.pluginsforlabtech.com and have a great day.